Well, the markets are set for a lower open today. That's certainly what the futures are telling us. There are the futures contracts on the Dow, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ 100. But our next guest says a far larger drop is just on the horizon. We're joined from Chicago by Todd Horwitz, Chief Strategist at BubbaTrading.com. Todd, always great to see you. You say in a recent note that those who are predicting a continued rally in these markets are ridiculous, and that the country is ignoring some basic and very negative economic fundamentals. Explain.
Good morning, Paul and Michael. You know, here's what we have. We now have, everybody is now bullish. They're all bringing the retail investors, the small retailers, and everybody wants to buy in on these promises that Trump is going to deliver X. And I believe he will deliver, but again, we have a lot of issues in this country to begin with. We have terrible jobs. We've created a lot of jobs over the last 8 years, with the exception of the jobs we lost were more money lost than that's going to be money gained. The valuations are totally ridiculous and based on these interest rates, which rates are going to climb higher. So you put all that together and you go, how are we going to settle all this debt? $19 trillion. Where's it going to go? We're not going to be able to inflate our way out, and the Fed is not going to be able to continue to use this artificial tax to bring back this money. Now, over long term, I think it'll be fine. But in the short term here, with the entire world now bullish and buying into the U.S. stock market, there's always a great sign that the top is either in or very near, and I'm a believer that we've got at least a 15 to 20% sell-off coming.
Yeah, I think it surely has to come. I don't think there's any ingenuity on your part, just common sense, Todd. It has to come. But for the moment, it's probably kind of refreshing, is it not? Although you probably don't like Trump at all, you guys in Chicago, or that he's, you know, the word fake is getting used, because we know there is a lot of fake news about employment. Yeah. The people who've gone out of employment are no longer on the unemployed lists. So the numbers are always fake.
Well, first of all, I love Donald Trump. I've actually wrote about him over a year ago and predicted him. I actually predicted him on BNN that he was going to win. I think he's going to do a great job, and I think that the overall picture of what he's trying to do is terrific. But again, when we go back into reality, and the reality is that the banks need to get the regulations cut, because we've gone from a position where the big banks held and controlled about 45% of the asset class. They now control about 75%. So they're too big once again, and of course, this too big to fail was totally ridiculous. And you tie that into the Federal Reserve, that is continuing to try to pound this inflation number, which is only a way that they can inflate my assets so I can pay more taxes. That doesn't give me any real growth. It doesn't mean anything to the real economy. It means that they can then pay off the debt that they created. So, you know, I think Trump will be great. I think the markets will be great over time. I mean, listen, let's face one fact. Stock markets have gone up 9% year over year. They just don't go up every year. And it is about that time, based on what you're talking about, Michael, on a mathematical calculation, that they're going to see some selling pressure. And I think it's a lot nearer now than we think.
It sounds like you have that you've gone short on this market. Am I correct?
You are 100% correct. I have been, from a trader standpoint, I'm a trader and I'm an investor. My trading account is very short, and I'm looking to get significantly shorter. I believe that we're going to see a very, very big sell-off in here. And again, it's not going to happen in one day, and I'm not ready to commit yet that I'm going to get full short yet. What I'm really looking for, Paul, is a sell-off, and I want to see the next rally that comes back, because there will be dip buyers all the way down the first time. I want to see the next rally back fail, and then that would give me confirmation that indeed the top of the market was in, which I do believe. But again, I want to wait before I get too aggressive here, because again, we could go a little higher before it comes in.
Quickly, are you holding gold right now?
I am holding gold. I'm a big believer in gold. I think there's probably one more big sell-off in gold, but the bear market is either over or is going to be over, I think, very shortly. So I'm definitely a buyer. The 1225 level is held beautifully, but I do believe there's one more push down. But I would be, as an investor, I'm a buyer of gold all the time.
Where are you in your crude oil exposure?
I am short crude. I believe that crude is well overdone. I think the OPEC situation was a bunch of BS. I don't think anybody really honored that deal. They can say all they want, but how did Russia become China's #1 supplier over Saudi Arabia? I think we've been in this solid consolidation pattern, but I believe they work lower. I think we're going back into the 40s, and I would look to be a buyer of crude not until probably $40 or $41. Then I'd be looking to be a buyer. But for now, I am short crude oil and looking to sell more.
Todd, great to speak to you. Thanks very much for joining us. That's Todd Horwitz, strategist at BubbaTrading.com. Thanks a lot, Todd.